Today we're going to talk about the most important material in ceramics, clay. In this video, I'll explain in detail what clay is, what types of clay exist, and what properties and characteristics clay has. I'll also share with you the names of the clay bodies I've been using for several years now. If you have any questions, you can always ask them in the comments or send me a private message. So let's get started. So what is clay and where does it come from? Clay is a natural material that forms from the breakdown of rocks. When rocks break down under the influence of water, wind, and temperature, tiny mineral particles are washed out of them. These particles settle, become compacted, and over time turn into clay. That's why every clay is unique. Its properties depend on which minerals and in what quantities ended up in it. Clay usually contains kaolinite, which gives it plasticity, quartz, which reduces shrinkage and increases hardness after firing, and metal oxides such as iron, manganese, or copper, which give it color. And of course, there are also organic substances which burn off during firing, leaving the clay porous. That's why the color of clay before and after firing can be completely different. For example, gray clay becomes white. Now, let's move on to the main types of clay. Several types of clay are used in ceramics, and now I'll tell you about each one in detail. Earthenware clay is a white, porous ceramic body that is fired at low temperatures up to about 1100 degrees Celsius. Sometimes, certain bodies are fired up to 1150 degrees. It is valued for its aesthetics and ease of use. Items made from it look neat, hold their shape well, and look especially beautiful under glaze or painting. The classic earthenware body consists of clay, which provides the base and plasticity, quartz, which reduces shrinkage and increases heat resistance, and feldspar, which binds the components during firing and makes the body denser. Sometimes calcium carbonate or talc is added to soften the body and lower the melting temperature. This composition makes faience both plastic and stable during drying and firing. Before firing, faience clay is usually grayish-white or light cream in color, and after firing, it becomes almost white or slightly creamy. The body is porous and only becomes watertight after glazing. Faience is a low-temperature body. Biscuit firing usually takes place between 900 and 980 degrees, depending on the clay. Glaze firing occurs between 1000 and 1080 degrees, also depending on the body. At higher temperatures, the body may start to deform or melt because the mass contains a lot of fluxes. That's exactly what recently happened to my low-temperature cups. They simply melted. Usually, the firing temperature range for the ceramic body is indicated right on the packaging or on the manufacturer's or supplier's website. But I advise you not to neglect the golden rule of a ceramist. Namely, even if certain temperatures are specified on the packaging, I strongly recommend firing a small test sample first. This way, you can see the exact color of the body, the shrinkage, and the glaze reaction specifically in your kiln. Earthenware is suitable for shallow dishes that are not intended for the dishwasher or microwave. For example, fruit bowls, saucers, and sugar bowls. They must always be glazed on the inside. Earthenware is also perfect for interior decor items, Majolica, and student projects. Earthenware does have some drawbacks. If the glaze on the piece is applied unevenly, water can seep into the body, which over time may cause the item to deteriorate, the glaze to crack, or mold to form as a kind of residue. Earthenware is also more fragile than, for example, stoneware. For some of my workshops, I use earthenware clay. As a rule, these are decorative items. I love earthenware for its white, clean body. Engobes and watercolor painting under glaze look especially beautiful on it. We'll talk about glazes and decorative paints in the next lessons. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. Most often, I use the jasmine clay body and fire it to between 1050 and 1080 degrees, depending on the purpose. It's important to note that not all low-temperature clays are considered earthenware. For example, there are red firing clays. They are fired at temperatures ranging from about 950 to 1080 degrees. After firing, they take on warm shades, terracotta, red, brick, or brown. They contain a lot of iron oxides and ball clays, but less kaolin. Such clays are often used for terracotta, flower ceramics, decorative panels, and pottery. They are not called faience because they have a different composition, color, and properties. These are simply low-temperature clays, or in other words, terracotta bodies. There is also Majolica. This group of decorative clays is usually low-fired, most often red-firing, and is coated with a white, dense, opaque glaze. Because of this, they visually resemble faience, but technically they belong to a separate type of ceramics. Now let's take a moment to talk a little bit more about stoneware, which is an important type of pottery. Stoneware is a high-temperature clay body that, after firing, becomes strong and almost waterproof even without glaze. The name stoneware is no coincidence. After firing, the body really does resemble stone, dense, resonant, and very durable. Its composition includes refractory clays and kaolins. They provide the base and plasticity. Feldspar aids in sintering. Quartz reduces shrinkage, while iron and manganese oxides give it color. Before firing, this clay can be light gray, beige, or have a bluish tint, and after firing it becomes gray, sandy, brown, or almost black. The texture of stoneware can be smooth or contain grog. It is quite pleasant to work with. Bisque firing is carried out at the following temperatures, from 950 to 1000 degrees, while glaze firing takes place from 1200 to 1280 degrees. At these temperatures, the body sinters, forming a stone-like waterproof shard. Stoneware clay is suitable for dishes, vases, planters, teapots, and other items that come into contact with water. It is not afraid of microwaves, dishwashers, or ovens. The only downside is that it requires high-temperature firing, which is not possible in every kiln. The color of the pieces after firing also depends on the atmosphere in the kiln. With oxidation firing in a regular electric kiln, the colors turn out lighter and cleaner, while with reduction firing in a gas or wood-fired kiln, they become darker, with richer, earthier tones. I make tableware from stoneware clay that I use every day. It is not afraid of boiling water, moisture, or temperature changes. For beginner ceramicists, I recommend trying high-temperature clays from the manufacturer Göring-Schneider. I especially recommend clay number 240. It has a pleasant milky hue, is easy to shape, and is not prone to cracking. For a beginner, this stoneware clay is just perfect, but you'll still have to search for the exact shade that suits you, because everyone has different tastes. Now let's talk about porcelain. Porcelain is a high-temperature, dense, and almost translucent clay body, distinguished by its special whiteness, resonance, and refinement. It's an unforgettable feeling when you hold porcelain in your hands because it's light, resonant, smooth, and perfectly even. Classic porcelain clay consists of 3 components. These are kaolin, a white refractory clay, feldspar, which binds the particles and creates a glass-like strength, and quartz, which reduces shrinkage and adds hardness. Before firing, porcelain is usually grayish-white and a bit rubbery to the touch while being shaped, but after firing it becomes pure white, sometimes with a slight blue or warm tint. The body is glassy, dense, and semi-translucent when the walls are thin. This is what translucency means. Porcelain is fired at the highest temperatures. The bisque firing ranges from 950 to 1000 degrees Celsius, and the glaze firing is from 1250 to 1350 degrees. As I mentioned earlier, all temperatures depend on the type of clay body you are using. At the same time, the body becomes so vitrified that it is waterproof even without glaze. Firing porcelain is a technically complex process that requires precise temperature control and slow cooling. There is hard porcelain, which is classic and durable. There is also soft porcelain, which has a warmer hue and melts at just 1100 degrees Celsius. There is also modern paper porcelain, which contains added cellulose, making it easier to shape and less prone to cracking. Porcelain is often carved to emphasize its translucency. Porcelain requires experience. It is difficult to sculpt, has high shrinkage, and is sensitive to glaze. It is a material that teaches patience and attention to detail. When you take porcelain pieces out of the kiln, they seem almost alive, glowing from within. It's a truly unique feeling. An interesting fact, porcelain was first created in China in the 7th century, and its recipe remained a secret for a long time. In Europe, porcelain was called white gold. It was only in the 18th century that true hard porcelain was successfully recreated in Germany. Instead of porcelain, you can use semi-porcelain. It looks similar in color, but it's not as translucent. As for porcelain, I can recommend the following types of clay. I usually buy clay on marketplaces or in ceramic stores. There is a huge selection, and it will take some time to find the clay that suits you best in terms of properties, color, and firing temperature. Also, dear viewers, I've prepared an article for you that describes in detail everything we've covered today. You'll find the link to it in the video description. And finally, I'd like to tell you about my online courses and masterclasses. Each masterclass is dedicated to different clay sculpting techniques. You'll be able to clearly see the entire process of creating a ceramic piece, from sculpting to glaze firing. Also, while taking the course or masterclass, you can ask me any questions you have about ceramics. I'll be happy to answer them.
You can check out the masterclasses on my Patreon.
You'll find all the links in the video description. Clay is an incredibly lively material from which you can make just about anything. Each type of clay has its own character and features, and only by trying them out can you understand which clay suits you best.